So Anderson Cooper decided to do some real journalism here. He's speaking to the Attorney General of Florida, who, after the horrible shooting there, has tried to portray herself as pro-gay. So Anderson Cooper here actually hits her with some tough questions. Let's take a look.
Well, that's the politics. I want to bring in Pam Bondi, the Florida Attorney General, to talk about what's happening here on the ground. I know there's a lot you can't talk about in the investigation, so I'm not going to press you on that. You've been meeting with family members. What are you hearing from them? And I know you're concerned also about scams, like victims' families being scammed.
Yes. You know, we have so many great Americans out there who want to donate, who are doing it. You know, they're watching this on TV. They're seeing you give the names of these victims, and people want to help and want to give. But please go to a legitimate disaster relief organization. Right now, we don't know what's legitimate and what's not.
There's hundreds of websites popping up. You're worried about some fake ones.
Hundreds. Right. So please, also our legitimate disaster relief ones, some of the scam artists will change one letter in the name and come up with that, so people who think they're helping all of these victims and their families are in fact helping scammers. So please don't stop giving to the public. Be vigilant in how you do it.
I want to ask you, I saw you the other day saying that anyone who attacks the LGBT community, our LGBT community, you said, will be gone after with the full extent of the law.
Exactly right.
I talked to a lot of gay and lesbian people here yesterday who are not fans of yours and who said that they thought you were being a hypocrite, that you for years have fought, you've basically gone after gay people, said that in court that gay people, simply by fighting for marriage equality, were trying to do harm to the people of Florida, to induce public harm, I believe was the term you used in court. Do you really think you're a champion of the gay community?
Let me tell you, when I was sworn in as Attorney General, I put my hand on the Bible and was sworn to uphold the Constitution of the state of Florida. That's not a law. That was voted into our state constitution by the voters of Florida. That's what I was defending. Had nothing to do, I've never said I don't like gay people. That's ridiculous.
But do you worry about using language accusing gay people of trying to do harm to the people of Florida when doesn't that send a message to some people who might have bad ideas in mind?
Anderson, I don't believe gay people could do harm to the state of Florida.
But you argued that in court.
My lawyer argued a case defending what the Supreme Court allowed the voters to put in our state constitution.
But you were arguing that gay marriage, if there was gay marriage, if there was same-sex marriage, that would do harm to the people of Florida, to Florida society.
That it was constitutional to put that in the Constitution.
Are you saying you did not believe it would do harm to Florida?
Of course not. Of course not. Gay people, no, I've never said that. Those words have never come out of my mouth.
But that is specifically what you were arguing in court.
You know, no. What we argued was it was in the Constitution of the state of Florida. Let me give you an example. Medical marijuana. A 12-year-old could get it if it passed. We took that to the Supreme Court. Because of that language, hold on, but if that passed, I would defend that as well, because it's my job to defend what's in the Constitution of the state of Florida. That's what it was about.
The hotline that you've been talking about on television, which allows family members and spouses of the dead to get information, which is incredibly important, and I appreciate you talking about on the air. Had there been no gay marriage, had there been no same-sex marriage, you do realize that spouses, there would be no spouses, that boyfriends and girlfriends of the dead would not be able to get information and would not be able to probably even visit in the hospital here. Well, so isn't there a sick irony in that?
Well, yeah, and let me tell you something. Let me take it a step farther. People right now who are partners and aren't married officially aren't able to get information. So we're trying to assist them in getting information, because early on,
isn't there a sick irony that you for years were fighting that very idea?
I was defending the Constitution of what over 69% of the voters put in the Constitution.
But the federal court said that's not the Constitution, and you continued to fight it.
No, that's why we rushed it to get it to the U.S. Supreme Court, because we needed
before
finality.
It was the Supreme Court, there was a federal judge, and you continued to fight it after the federal judge ruled, and in fact you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars taxpayer money
Well,
fighting
Anderson,
it.
we rushed to get it to the Supreme Court. You know what today's about? Human beings. Today's
Right.
about victims.
It's about gay and
We're
lesbian
here.
victims.
It sure is.
Right.
LGBT
Right.
victims.
I'm just
It's
wondering,
about-
is it
it's
hypocritical
about Florida?
to portray yourself as a champion of the gay community when I'm just reflecting what
I'm
a lot
not-
of gay people have told me they don't see you as that?
Anderson, I'm not portraying myself as anything other than trying to help human beings who have lost their lives, who are right behind us right now in hospital beds, who have family members who aren't getting the services they need. This morning, you know what I've been doing? Trying to fight with a funeral home for overcharging family members
That's
to
sickening.
bury their loved ones. I'm not championing anything other than Floridians. That's what this is about.
Okay.
And this is about victims who need help. This is about family members who need services.
It's just that
That's
I
what
will
this
say
is
I
about.
have never really seen you talk about gays and lesbians and transgender people in a positive way until now. I read your Twitter history for the last year, and I saw you tweeting about, you know, National Dog Month and National Shelter Dog Appreciation Day or Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. You know, it is Gay Pride Month. You've never even tweeted about Gay Pride Month. I mean,
Well, actually, if you look at my website now, we have hands clasped together, all different colored rainbow hands.
So
of
you just
people.
put that up now?
So, yeah, I did after
Right.
this horrible tragedy,
Right.
absolutely.
Well-
The only thing I'm championing are human beings whose lives were lost.
so that's your message
In
to gay
terror.
and lesbian people here. Because again, I'm just telling you what people have been telling me to ask you. Moving forward, do you see yourself as being a vocal champion for gay and lesbian citizens in the state?
They are citizens just like anyone else, of course. My goodness, Anderson, we've had 49 people murdered simply because they were in a bar at the wrong time.
Right.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm a career prosecutor. These family members are devastated.
Well, it's good to
These
hear, 'cause-
surviving
yeah.
victims are devastated.
I know-
That's what this is about.
Right. I know a lot of gay and lesbian people in the state want to feel that the people who represent
All right, that's enough of that. That was cringeworthy. That's Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of Florida. And did you see how when you actually do journalism, when you actually press people on issues, how they just turn? She wasn't expecting it. She was caught so off guard when Anderson actually attacked her, and not really attacked her, but put forward great points. And did you hear? Oh, I'm a champion of gay community. I put up rainbow hands on my website. Rainbow hands, but I have actively fought against them in court. It doesn't. Oh my God! She actively fights against them in court, but she's a champion of gay rights. Now, did you see how she has no rebuttal to that? She has nothing to come back with because he's actually throwing facts at her, and that's how amazing reporting can be. Where people look at that, you can't find me a person that looks at that. Oh, she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. She has fought for. No, you could just tell by her reaction how she was just stumbling over every word because she so obviously is not a champion of gay rights. Now, Anderson Cooper, that is something that this country needs more of. Seriously, right there, what the journalism Anderson Cooper did, that was real journalism. But for her, it's just so sleazy. See how she's trying to come out and now be such a big champion after this attack? After people have lost their lives, now she cares. After people have lost their lives, now she thinks it's a great time to take the opportunity to stand up for their rights. And did you see how she tried to turn it on Anderson, seem like he was a bad guy? Which I'm not even a big fan of Anderson Cooper. I'm not a fan of him at all. But did you hear how she? He's like, you haven't been a champion of LGBT rights and shit. Well, what I am a champion is for lives. I'm standing in front of a hospital with mourning people with their kids in the hospital. It was, oh my God, ugh. How disgusting. That was just disgusting how she tried to flip that as like she's like this big champion. How she's like such a great person because she's there being a politician. It was gross. But Bryan Fischer, he has some thoughts about this interview, and let's take a look, and I'll give my final thoughts on this.
Some of you might have seen this. Anderson Cooper interviewed Pam Bondi yesterday. Pam Bondi is the Attorney General of the state of Florida, and she, like everyone who stands for traditional marriage, is being hammered as a homophobic bigot. And Anderson Cooper, who is an open, admitted homosexual, and therefore ought to recuse himself from any story like this. He has no business trying to do journalism on an issue as fraught with emotion as the homosexual agenda. He's disqualified from providing any kind of objective journalistic treatment of that topic.
So did you see? I don't know about you, but I think if somebody's gay and they cover gay issues, that would be an advantage, Bryan Fischer. How are you going to tell me that somebody that's gay is disqualified from covering gay issues? I actually wish Anderson would actually, show a little bit more emotion when he covers gay rights issues. But Bryan Fischer, a complete lunatic. And what I liked is in the beginning where he's like, people are painting me and other people who think like me as a homophobic bigot just because I like traditional marriage. Yeah. Why would you be against same-sex marriage? What? Because it's a sacred bond. I agree, it's a sacred bond. It's a sacred bond. But this guy's just an idiot. It's a sacred bond, but just between man and woman. I've seen marriages between two men that have been actually better, more sacred than a traditional marriage couple. And he just, I'm not a homophobic bigot. I just don't like gay people and them having rights. What about that makes me a homophobic bigot? Okay. But let's get back to the original interview. Because the Florida Attorney General, that was very awkward. Very awkward. And it just shows that, Miss Pam Bondi really didn't care. Because she only cares now because it's convenient for her to, be behind gay people. But then she tries to blame it on the Constitution. Why don't you just be someone? Just stand up for what you believe in. That's just such a hard concept for today's politicians, and really all politicians. I mean, past and present, they all capitalize on that stuff. It was just very disturbing that she uses this tragedy now to try to win over people and try to perceive herself as pro same-sex marriage. It was disgusting. So tell me, you guys, in the comments below, what do you guys think about that just awkward interview? I think it was great reporting by Anderson Cooper. And it just exposed a terrible, terrible human being with Pam Bondi. That's what I think.